Good morning students. Welcome to social science class of 8th standard. In previous class we had started history 6th chapter rise of Jainism and Buddhism. We had learned the causes for the rise of Jainism and Buddhism and about Jainism. Today we will learn about Buddhism. Gautama Buddha was born as Siddhartha to Shuddhodana, the king of the Republic of Shakya in 6th century BC. He believed that he was disillusioned with the prevailing ways of life, hence, he renounced the kingly luxury and familial happiness. He became a hermit and embarked upon a quest for truth. After attaining enlightenment, he came to be known as Buddha or Enlightened One. Gautama Buddha gave his first sermon in Deer Park at Sarnath near Banaras. This sermon has been called as Dharmachakra Pravartana. He preached the Four Noble Truths and Eightfold Path. The Four Noble Truths declares that the world is full of sorrow and suffering. Desire is the root cause of suffering. There is an end to suffering. In order to lead a peaceful life, one must be liberated from all desires and follow the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path or the Middle Path was preached by Buddha for eliminating desires. The Eightfold Path of Buddha are right action, right speech, right vision, right livelihood, right effort, right recollection, right resolve, and right thought. Right action aims at promoting moral, honorable, and peaceful conduct. It admonishes us that we should abstain from destroying life, from stealing, from dishonest dealings, and that we should also help others to lead a peaceful and honorable life in the right way. Next, right speech. It means abstention from telling lies, from backbiting and slander, and talk that may bring about hatred, enmity, disunity among individuals or groups of people. Means, if one cannot say something useful, one should keep noble silence. Right livelihood, that one should abstain from making one's living through a profession that brings harm to others, such as trading in arms and lethal weapons, intoxicating drinks or poisons, killing animals, cheating, etc. And should live by a profession which is honorable, blameless, and innocent. Right effort is the energetic will to prevent evil and unwholesome states of mind from arising. Right thought. It denotes the thoughts of selfless renunciation or detachment, thoughts of love and thoughts of non-violence, which are extended to all beings. Right view is about cultivating wisdom or clarity and ultimately discovering the truth about ourselves and the world around us. Right mindfulness allows us to touch the joys in our life. With right mindfulness, we literally have the ability to generate joy. Right mindfulness is also the energy which allows us to bring light to our habit, energy, and gradually transform our lives. In this way, it helps us to relieve much suffering and bring much peace and joy. Like this, Buddha said, only by the liberation of excessive desires could a peaceful life be led. The new teachings of Buddha inspired the wealthy merchants, artisans, and common people. Buddha's messages and teachings were in Prakrit, the language of the common man, and related to the various aspects of their tradition. To spread his message, Buddha and his followers visited Kosala, Magadha, and many other cities on the Gangetic plains and devoted their lives to the service of the people. Gautama Buddha's glorious life of selfless service came to an end at Kushinagar. This has been called Mahaparinirvana. The memory of his accomplishments, people started worshipping him. Thus began the first temples, idols, and idol worship. The teachings and traditions of Buddha were collected by his followers after his death in the form of Tripitakas. Three Pitakas are Vinaya, Dhamma, and Abhidhamma. Over a period of time, different sects of Buddhism sprang up, and Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana, and their sutras came into being. Today, many organizations all over the globe are adopting different ways of realizing Buddha. Foreign invasions. During this period, there sprang up city states in Greece. Ancient Persia had grown into a powerful empire. These two areas engaged in continual conflicts. The Achaemenians were one group who ruled Persia. In 6th century BC, King Darius of this dynasty established a strong empire. His kingdom extended up to the Indian border during his time. In 4th century BC, the Macedonian king Alexander won over the Greek city-states and captured Persia. Thus, even the part of the Persian kingdom which had spread up to the Indian border came under the control of Alexander. After overpowering Persia, Alexander entered India through the passes in Kandahar and Hindu Kush. He advanced till Ravi and Bias rivers and, unable to proceed further, he crossed the Indian border through river Jhelum, and on his way back home he died at Babylonia. Students, today we have completed the lesson Rise of Jainism and Buddhism.